The studio lights had long faded, but inside her quiet home, Cat Deeley sat curled on the sofa, watching her 18-month-old son Milo drift into a peaceful sleep. His tiny chest rose and fell gently, a rhythm that had become the center of her world. Motherhood, she often thought, was the most extraordinary role she had ever stepped into, far more profound than any stage or television spotlight. Across the room, her husband, Patrick Keelty, leaned against the doorway, smiling softly. Their journey to this moment hadn't been dramatic or rushed, it had unfolded quietly, like a story written in invisible ink. Friends first, always laughing, always comfortable, they had somehow missed what others saw so clearly, that they were meant to be. "It still feels surreal," Kat whispered one evening, her voice barely louder than the ticking clock. "That we found this life." Patrick nodded. "We didn't miss it," he said gently. "We just took the scenic route. But now, time felt different. There was a new urgency in the air, one that didn't come from television schedules or deadlines, but from something deeper, something biological." Kat had always imagined a house filled with laughter, with more than one pair of tiny footsteps echoing down the hall. And yet, reality had introduced a complication she hadn't expected. At a recent checkup, the doctor's words had landed with a weight she couldn't shake. Geriatric mother. The phrase had echoed in her mind long after she left the clinic. It sounded harsh, clinical, almost out of place against the warmth she felt as a mother. But the meaning behind it was even heavier. At 40, Kat had been told she would now be considered triple high risk if she chose to have another child. It wasn't just a label, it was a warning. The risks were real. Doctors had explained the increased chances of complications, high blood pressure, gestational diabetes, miscarriage, and the possibility of congenital conditions. Statistics, percentages, probabilities, they all blurred together into one overwhelming truth. Nothing was guaranteed, and yet, neither was love. Late at night, Kat found herself standing by Milo's crib, brushing a soft hand across his hair. "I would love more," she admitted quietly, as if saying it too loudly might make it impossible. "But I've got to get on with it if I do." It wasn't fear that held her back, it was the weight of decision. The understanding that every choice now carried more consequence than it once did. Patrick, ever steady, never rushed her. One evening, as they sat together in the dim glow of a bedside lamp, he took her hand. "We'll figure it out," he said simply. "There's no right or wrong, just what's right for us." That was the thing about their love, it had never been about pressure or perfection. It had grown from friendship, from laughter, from years of knowing each other without expectation. Maybe that was why it felt so strong now, even in uncertainty. Kat smiled, remembering how their friends had predicted this long before they had. "They always knew," she laughed softly. "I just didn't see it." "Good things take time," Patrick replied. "And maybe this decision would too." Because motherhood, Kat was learning, wasn't just about timing or biology, it was about courage. The courage to hope, to risk, to dream again even when the odds felt uncertain. As she turned off the light and slipped into bed beside Patrick, she realized something important. Her story wasn't defined by a label, not by age, not by statistics, but by the love she had already built, and the possibility of more. And somewhere in the quiet of that night, between fear and hope, Kat Deeley allowed herself to believe that whatever came next, it would be enough.